All right, so today I skipped yesterday, but we're back on it today. No worries, no worries. I'm trying to vlog every single day or make some type of video to upload it, get used to making long form content. And I think today, since it's kind of like, I don't know, it's such a big part of my life, I decided to talk about it a little bit, and that is sobriety. So if you haven't watched like too many of my shorts or don't even know who I am, I started out just pretty much like trying to make some fitness content. I wasn't too sure what I was gonna do, and I had an idea that I wanted to start making content. And then some of the people that I was watching on like TikTok and stuff were like former alcoholics or something, or just like people that were in sobriety. So I was thinking, I was like, oh, if I ever relapsed, because I had 17 months of sobriety, I was like, maybe I could document it on TikTok and maybe give someone or some people some motivation, because I had a good amount of sobriety. I had gone through the steps. So I like do AA, and I've done AA, and I have like a sponsor and stuff. So I was like, well, if I relapse, I'm pretty sure I'd come back pretty fast, but I wasn't 100% sure. You know, it's always risky. So if you have someone that, you know, is an alcoholic, or you have friends or family, or if you're an alcoholic yourself, doing it is kind of difficult. And like, unless you want to do it, like you want to be sober, and if like you're trying to do it for other people, it's going to be really hard. You really have to want it for yourself in order to get sober. But I at that point, I had enough sobriety that I knew like I liked being sober. If you're currently like struggling or whatever, I highly recommend you stay sober just long enough for you to find out that you like being sober. And because that's a vital part. Like, once you like being sober and you know how to manage life once you're sober, things just get like so much easier and life just gets so much better. But yeah, so what ended up happening was I did end up relapsing on like the end of September of 2024, right? Yeah, of 2024. And I drank for one day, and I was able to control it that day. And the next day I was like, all right, I think I'm fine. I'll go back to AA. We'll be good. Maybe I'll keep it under the table. I won't let anyone know that I relapsed. We'll just be all good. I'll be normal. But like that night when I had relapsed, I had like hidden a bottle in my room of some whiskey. So that's always a good sign that like, oh yeah, you know, I'm being serious about it. I think I had a bottle of whiskey and some tequila. So I hid it. And then when I woke up that morning, I was feeling hungover. So I was like, I already know I'm gonna go back to AA, so let me take like 2 shots. You know, just, you know, make it a little bit easier. That way I'm not like too hungover today and blah, blah. I went to go have lunch, ended up having some old fashions there. And after that, it was just like off to the races. Like I guess that alcoholism just like fully kicked in, and I was there. I was like, oh shit. Like that day I pretty much drank the full day. The next day I drank the full day. And then that Sunday, I like was like literally vomiting, like nothing but liquid, because I hadn't eaten anything the day previously. And I was like, man, I need to stop drinking. I need to do what I need to do to like stop drinking. So I called a place in Houston called The Park to see if I could do a detox. And we needed like some insurance information, all this stuff. But you got to remember, like, I'm kind of like wasted doing this, trying to get it done. But I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I was done, and I had already proved it to myself. Like, I can't do it by myself. I was like, I can't handle alcohol like 100%. Like, I am truly an alcoholic, and I need to get this under control. So I ended up doing a detox program, or not a detox program. I just went and did a detox. It was 4 or 7 days. So I went and detox. I got out and I did 90 and 90. So if you don't know what 90 and 90 is, where you go to 90 meetings in 90 days. So it's pretty like popular, and they like would recommend it to people that are struggling. I probably could have done it without the 90-90. The first time I did the 17 months, I didn't do the full 90. So it's not that you need it, but it's kind of like it's really hard because I had so much sobriety that when I like finished, like I remember during that first week, I just kept thinking like how much of an idiot I was, and I just had like all this guilt. And then from going from 534 days, which was the amount of time I had to back down to 0, was just, I don't know, it was like kind of overwhelming. I felt like I would never get that time back. And it's just like a mental state you're gonna be in if you relapse. And because I mean, I see it today, like I've seen people relapse since then, and not everyone's fortunate enough to get time back under their belt. I'm very fortunate that I'm back. I have 11 months already, and I completely contribute that to like me wanting to be sober. Like I want to be sober. I like being sober. I am not functional when I'm drinking. I have lost the ability to be a functioning alcoholic. Like it just doesn't work for me. And I'm very grateful that I've come to that conclusion on my own. And some people never get there. And so I feel fortunate to be there. And but I mean, I also put in like the time and effort needed to stay sober. You know, I did the 90-90. I got my sponsor. I worked the steps again. I called my sponsor daily while I was going through that. He knew what I was doing. My family was very supportive. Like I had support, and fortunately I didn't need to like destroy my whole life again for me to be like, oh yeah, I want to be sober. But yeah, I mean, if you yourself are struggling, or you know someone that's struggling, like just if they want to be sober, that's a really good sign. Try to get them into AA. A lot of people don't want to do AA. It's like I've seen people, like that's one of the reasons why I did want to go to the detox center as well. You'll see people that are in there that some want to get sober, some are just passing the time to get their family off the back. Some people are court ordered. Some people have DWIs. I'm very fortunate. I never had a DWI. I've never been court ordered to go into AA or anything. Like I did it all out of like self-will. So that's a very, like, if you get someone to do it on their own, it's better, because if you're like truly an alcoholic, you're truly dealing with alcoholism, like something's gonna happen where like you're gonna lose your job, you're gonna lose your family, you're gonna lose your spouse, you're gonna get a DWI. Like it ends up happening to like eventually, you know, like it doesn't all happen overnight. It's not like, oh yeah, you have this alcohol problem, this is gonna happen the next day. It's not like that. Sometimes it takes years. And then I'm very fortunate that it also happened, like I got sober the first time I tried it was like a few weeks before I turned 30, because I was like, I do not want to be in my 30s. I don't want to be drunk anymore. I don't want to be blacking out all the time. Like I want to be sober. So yeah, maybe I should mention that the first time I got sober, I was drinking every single day before I got sober. It was just like a constant like drinking. I could get sober for like maybe 2-3 weeks till a month, but then I'd start drinking again, and I always started drinking heavily. You know, it wasn't always like straight blackout. Some days it was just like I would get drunk, then the next day I wouldn't, and then, you know, it would just be a back and forth thing. But I just knew that I wasn't going in the direction that I wanted to go in. Like I wanted to achieve things, and honestly, the alcohol was getting in the way of my like wanting to achieve things. So I don't know, I guess my ambition outweighed my alcoholism in that instance. So I did something about it. I had a friend that I knew, he had went to a rehab facility in San Antonio. So I got that information. I went out there, I did a detox. I got down there and I heard all these stories of these people saying like, hey, like this is my 4th time, this is my 5th time. And I was like, oh shoot, like, does this even work? And I was like, I don't think so. In there I heard of someone that got sober with an IOP, an intensive outpatient program. And I was like, well, I'd rather do that than to be stuck in a rehab facility, get out, and then end up relapsing and coming back here like for my 4th or 5th time. So I just did the detox. I checked myself out. In there they tell you like, hey, like you're not gonna make it if you don't do like the full 30 days. Like your chances of making it to like a year is less than like 3%. So it's like a very small amount of people that one get sober and stay sober. So and I'm a very competitive person, so I took that to heart, and I was like, I can at least get a year, right? So I got out of there, came back to Houston. I did a intensive outpatient program. At that time, I hadn't like done AA whatsoever, but in the intensive outpatient program, kind of just teach you like a lot of things about alcoholism, how it affects your health. Just it gives you like a really good support group. I really like recommend it. It'll give you like a good group of people that are sober and they have time already because they would be in rehab. So like I remember going there and there was people with like 100 days and I was like, oh man, 100 days, that seems like impossible. But that really motivated me. So I just stayed there and I learned. I wanted to participate, I wanted to share. And then when I was in there, like we do these check-ins, and then they'll ask you like, are you going to meetings, which are AA meetings? And I wasn't, but I wanted, like, it was a class, so I wanted to do well. I've always been one of those types of people that want to do well in class or school or whatever. So they were like, oh, you need to go to AA meetings. So I decided to go to AA. And then after I was going to the AA meetings, they would ask me in the IOP class, like, do you have a sponsor? And after, like, I don't know, like a week of them asking me, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a sponsor. I got a sponsor, started working the steps. And I started working the steps, and I said, all right, like, at the very minimum, I'm going to finish these steps. That way, at least I could say, hey, I did the AA program. I've completed the 12 steps. Look, it didn't work for me. So that's what I did. I completed the 12 steps. I worked with a sponsor, did what was asked of me. I did it thoroughly. I read the book. There's another guy that goes with it called the 12 Steps, 12 Traditions. Read that as well. Worked with a sponsor. At the same time, I was doing therapy. And at some point between starting AA and completing the 12 steps, I like woke up one morning and like I had, I don't know, some like 6-7 months of sobriety. And I felt like happy and I felt content. I liked the way my life was going. I liked the things that were happening. I wasn't wasting like crazy amount of money on alcohol. I was getting healthier. I was getting stronger. I was going to the gym frequently. I was dependable. I was just like active. I was reading like a book a week. I was working out. I was going on dates. Life was just getting like really good. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna keep it going. And that's what happened. I just kept staying sober. And then the real reason like my relapse happened at 17 months was because when I first got sober, it wasn't like I was trying to stop forever. I just knew I needed to do something about it. And in that time, I did start to have like some doubt. I was like, am I really an alcoholic? Like I got to a year without too much effort. Some people said it's like really hard. I had a 2% chance of getting there. I did it. I was like, maybe I'm not really an alcoholic. If you ever read the AA book, they said if you ever think you're not an alcoholic, give it up for a year and then go back out there and try it out and see if you can control your drinking. And then to those that are truly alcoholics, you won't be able to do it, right? So I did the test and I failed miserably, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my happy butt back into AA, and that's where I am, and life's good. I'm very fortunate. I only lost 5 days that I was drinking. I decided to do a detox, and I got sober. I did the 90 and 90. I redid the steps. I still go to AA meetings. Now it's just like, it's not a matter of like I need to go to AA meetings. It's just that like I like going to them. All the people that I know with time, and when I say time, I don't mean like 5 years. Like there's people with 5 years, like they relapse at 5 years. It's not a lot of time. I'm talking about people with like 20 plus years. I hear 40 years, 30 years. Like these guys, like one thing they all had in common was that they go to meetings. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't know if meetings have something to do with it or not, but I'd rather go to a meeting here and there. You know, maybe it's just my insurance policy, but I'll keep it going and we'll see where it goes. But I can tell you that I'm about to hit 1 year on October 2nd. Again, I have spent all of my 30s, most of my 30s sober, except for 5 days. I'm 32. So I don't know. I was like, the time I'm having in my 30s is a lot better than like a lot of the times I had when I was, 20. Like, I ruined friendships, I ruined a relationship. So it's like, I don't want to go back to that person where people will be like, oh yeah, like, nah, that dude, he's just a drunk, or all he does is like say stupid stuff when he's drunk or whatever, or he does stupid stuff when he's drunk. Like, I don't want to be that person, So I guess I'll stay sober. Anyway, that's it for today.